What's going on, everybody? Almost Counts Collectibles here, and in today's video we're going to be taking apart our red Tyrannosaurus battle bike from the new Reignition toy line so that we can remove a lot of these, action apparatus pieces just to make the bike look better, to use for display. Because I really don't care for any of these functionalities on the bike. So we're going to take this apart. We're going to see what it looks like on the inside. We're going to try to take all this stuff off here to make our bike look better. And we're going to take you along for the ride so you can see what it looks like on the inside and if you want to do this yourself. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to need, and hopefully the only thing we're going to need, is just a cross-point screwdriver. As you can see on the right side of the bike, if you're looking at it from the back, all of the screw holes are exposed. So that's good. None of them are covered with stickers or anything that we have to rip or cut or tear. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 6 that hold together the actual left and right sides of the bike. We have a few more right here on the button or the lever apparatus, which I want to leave this on here. There might be some more screws on the inside. Oh, we have another one right there. I don't think I counted that one. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take this apart. So let's go ahead and start with some of these basic body screws and see how many we actually have to take off. All right, so we have all the screws out. We actually went ahead and took all the screws, even the front and rear tire screw, which I'm not sure if we even really needed to remove the front one, but I think we're gonna have to. So I went ahead and took it off, and all of the screws are the same size. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out which ones go back where. They all appear to be the exact same screw. So now that all of the screws that we should need to take out, unless there's some hidden ones somewhere, are gone, let's go ahead and separate this bike. Before I disassemble this, if your lever that launches them is actually locked down under spring tension, I would go ahead and release that spring tension so that it doesn't fly off and possibly hit you in the face when you take this apart. I do see some screws right here underneath. We shouldn't need to take these off right now. These should just be holding the teeth and the gun to this portion, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and try to separate this. All right, so the tire is out. Much like I figured eventually this would launch off. Looks like a simple spring under there. I see another spring right here that activates this lever, I believe. The front, let's see what we got going on here. So the front doesn't really want to separate. It's being held on. Let's go ahead and take these screws off. This one right here and this one right here. This might need to come off of there just so we don't break anything. But it's definitely being held together right there at that point. Once again, looks like the same. No, that screw is longer. So these screws are actually longer. I figured they would be smaller, if anything. So you will want to set these two screws aside. Oh, there's another screw right there. I think I can get to that. Hopefully this is the last one. This one's at a little bit of an odd angle, but we should be able to get it out of there. All right, finally. So that screw did not want to come out the bottom. It just wanted to twist off until the top portion right here actually came off. Okay, so that, I think, is what was holding it on there. It was just kind of pushed up under there. Yep, that's it. It was just holding the front together. So it was this piece right here. All right, we can take the handlebars out. That piece falls right out. This right here, I think you just need to slowly twist it back and forth. Yep, it's coming out. There we go. All right, and that is gone. So yeah, here's the inside. Here's the lever for this back piece. Now this I actually want to leave on there. It should go in just like this, and that can stay. And I'll leave this on here so it's not loose. But everything else, I think we're gonna leave off, except for this stuff. Now, I like that the handlebars come out, because if you really wanted to modify these, I think the handlebars are too long. So if we actually cut at an angle right here and then right up here below the handbrakes, and we just glued this portion to the bottom portion, I think that would make them small enough to look better. I'm not gonna do that right now, but the fact that this whole piece comes out to make that easy to do, if you wanted to, that's nice. But I'm gonna go ahead and just stick these back together. So that should slide into there. Once again, we'll put this back on. This little rod goes inside of it. This was actually really simple construction. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put the front tire back on. Put the rear tire on. Then we'll put the side back on. We just got to line some stuff up here. So we got this rod right here, the middle one. We're going to have this rod right here on the kickstand. So we just got to line a few things up here. All right. Then we have to put this back on here. There we go. This was the difficult piece. It gives a little bit so that you can pop it off the bottom, but it holds this front portion together. All right, let me go ahead and throw just one screw here in the back. And one here. We'll do this bottom one towards the front. All right. I'm going to take this screw out and I'm going to leave it out just because it's really hard to get to. And the other two screws that are going to hold this on here will do just fine. So I'm going to try to take this the rest of the way out of here and leave this one out just because it's really difficult. All right, let's put the front back on here. Remember, our two long screws are what go inside of here, which once again is kind of weird. I don't know why these needed to be so long. All right, our bike is back together for the most part. I have some screws left to put back in here. To be honest, I'm not even going to put them back in there right now because I might want to do some more modifications or make a few more cosmetic changes to this. So I'm going to leave these out for now. But here is the Tyrannosaurus battle bike without all of the extra levers and the flipping apparatus and the little like guard catch sticking out the front, one of the springs that goes with it. I think this just looks better. I think they should have gone this route with the bikes, make them look a little more realistic, just to be able to put your figure on. Give us the sidecars for the black and blue. I don't think the exclusive figures were necessary, especially considering They don't have their holsters. They're pretty much the exact same figure as the basic figure line. I think they could have saved money by just releasing the bikes. And like I said in my other video, since blue and black would have come with a sidecar, kind of like an accessory, they should have just included a completed power blaster with the red bike to go with those basic figures. It would have enticed people to actually buy the basic figure pack to go with their motorcycles. They're really not enticed to buy the bikes just for the figures because they're not going to get a pink and a yellow figure. So I just think this looks better, displays better, and ultimately this is kind of what it should have looked like. But just so you guys know, it is pretty easy to take this apart now that you can kind of see what's holding what together and where the screws are. If you want to take all this stuff off so that you can display your red battle bike looking a little bit better with your figures, or even if this is how you want to like use it, I just think it looks better. All right, let's take a look with our actual Red Ranger on there. Now this is the one from the 6-pack that's got the holster. This is not the exclusive one. Just so you guys can see that it fits on there just fine. Probably even better now that it can actually set down further. All right, and there's our Red Ranger with his holster on the red Tyrannosaurus battle bike. I still think these handlebars are too long. They don't need to be this long. The figure could definitely have leaned forward to grab a hold of the handlebars. I think they just look a little odd being this long, so I think I will modify them. They should be up closer to where the handbrakes are. So I might go ahead and cut those off and shorten them up, as long as I make a nice cut so there's enough surface area to glue to. That super glue should hold them together pretty well. But here's what your battle bike looks like without all of this, without the vest. I just think this was a better route. They could have done away with all of this, saved some money, and just gave us some nice looking bikes, you know, to use our imagination. If anything, I think it should have just maybe shot a little missile out of the front of the gun barrel that could have been activated back here, or even a little button right here. I wouldn't have really minded that. The other ones could have done the same, just some missile launching action, as opposed to all of this with the flipping stuff. But there's the red battle bike, guys. If you want to take all that stuff off to just kind of display, or you know, if your kids want to play with it like this, I think it ultimately looks better. And yeah, there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. And until next time, everybody, I'll see you next video.